House Republicans were caught off guard yesterday when the Farm Bill failed to receive enough votes for passage, with both parties blaming one another. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi scolded the GOP for constant inaction. Here she was.
If we ever came to you when we had the majority and said we didn't pass a bill because we didn't get enough Republican votes, well, you know, that's really, it's silly. It's sad. It's juvenile. It's unprofessional. It's amateur hour.
Amateur hour. With so much chaos, how's anything going to get passed on Capitol Hill? We want to get right to our gaggle now. Former Democratic Senator from Arkansas, Blanche Lincoln. National Review's Jim Geraghty, nice to finally see you in person. Yep. And the Washington Post, David Nakamura, see you around the White House often. Nice to visit with you. Let's start by talking about this very quickly. The Farm Bill is supposed to be an easy one, as these things go, by comparison to what we have on our plate right now. So, Jim, when you talk about the void of leadership right now, who's to blame? You know,
first of all, I'm kind of struck early in the program by the number of Democrats who are complaining about the failure to pass a bill that they'd voted against themselves. I saw on Morning Joe earlier today talking about this being a basic bill. Yeah. Well, there were reasons to vote against this bill, whether you're on the right or whether you're on the left. There were folks on the right that thought there was too much spending, too many subsidies, too many giveaways. Environmentalists are concerned about giveaways to big ag and all kinds of other. So there were reasons to vote against this bill. We always kind of think of like, well, does this Goldilocks approach? Eventually you do something that's a little bit of the left, a little bit of the right, everybody comes together in the middle. It may not be that kind of rule for this kind of Congress anymore. It may be that there is no middle anymore and that you got to go with one party or the other and, you know, force it through that way.
So, Senator, what does that tell us as we wait for immigration to finally be a real issue on the House side right now? It might have all the momentum in the world coming out of the Senate, but even that may not be enough.
Well, I think that you have to look at everything that's being presented to you. I mean, the Farm Bill, if we don't pass the Farm Bill by September, we go back to 1930 law. I mean, this is ridiculous. You look at the savings that's in there. There's a lot of people that have been willing to give in terms of the cuts that are going to be there. You've got hardworking farm families across the country. You've got poor people that are giving in this bill. You know, I don't know. I think that you've got to find a compromise and a consensus. And you can't, if your expectations are that we're just going to let one extreme or the other rule. You've got to provide, as Judge Gregg said, leadership to find the consensus.
So, David, talk about the challenge as the leader of the House. Speaker John Boehner faces the issue of immigration right now. It's just a lot of pressure he's getting from all sides right now. Can you talk about that pressure that he faces right now, having just dealt with the Farm Bill and now having to move on to immigration very shortly?
Absolutely. It's a real wild card now, what happened yesterday. And what's really striking is right when the House was engaging in this sort of dysfunctional vote that really surprised Republicans, you had the Senate you know, announcing a big bipartisan deal on immigration and really saying that we could get up to 70 votes for this thing. I think going forward, President Obama is going to be watching closely once the Senate does, if it indeed goes ahead and passes this bill. President Obama will get out there, I think, in July and really go around the country sort of hammering the House and putting even more pressure on John Boehner. Boehner has told folks he'd like to get something passed by August, go to conference, but with they not even being able to do that on the Farm Bill, I think sets you know, that really in doubt and an uncertain process.
Embarrassment to John Boehner right now?
He's used to it by now. Everybody knows that his caucus is like herding cats. At some point, he may want to shift to a less conflicted environment, one where people get along better, like Syria or someplace like that. You know.
Does President Obama, I was just going to say, just to conclude, we're going to come back with more. Does President Obama help or hurt the process if he starts hammering the House after immigration gets through the Senate?
I don't know. I think it could push him even further to the right in terms of giving the extreme right there more leverage, and I don't think that helps Boehner.
Yeah, absent some phone calls flying back from Europe, seems like the president's going to keep his hands off this one as long as he can. We're going to give you the trivia time real quickly. We asked you the question, when was the last time a Supreme Court term went into July? No love here. The answer, 1996. U.S. v. Winstar was the big case that kept the court in session longer than usual. Congratulations.